job, a phenomenal job. I'm honored to be partnered right alongside with you, changing lives all around the country. And I want to encourage everyone that's listening today. This is a great opportunity. I want to do two things. First, I want to give you my testimony. Before my econ, I was struggling financially. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was borrowing from Paul to pay Peter, and I was struggling to make ends meet. And lo and behold, as I was on the football field watching my son play, I overheard a gentleman that taught the same strategies that Mr. Wayne Brown taught tonight, and four amazing things happened to me. Number one, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I was able to eliminate over $100,000 of debt in 1 year. I didn't say 2 years. I didn't say 5 years. I didn't say 20 years. I was able to eliminate over $100,000 of debt in 1 year. Number two, I was able to increase my credit score from a 520 because I had poor credit because of bad spending habits. I was able to increase that credit score from a 520 to an 804. So I went from poor credit to excellent credit in less than a year. Number three, I did not have an emergency fund. Whenever an emergency happened, the first thing that I did was I would pull my credit card out and I would swipe my card whenever an emergency happened. But that's the worst thing you can do, especially with poor credit, because when I end up buying something once, I end up paying for it two or three times over because of the high interest rate of the credit card. But guess what? I now have a true emergency fund that's not a credit card. So if an emergency happens, it just turns into a temporary inconvenience. And then number four, I've been able to cash flow, believe it or not, six figures. And I do this part time, not full time, part time without stopping what I was currently doing. So, in closing, I'm going to say this: there are four reasons why a person would not get started with this amazing opportunity today. Number one, you said, man, Wayne went over a whole lot of information, but guess what? Yes, he did. But also, when you first started your job went over a whole lot of information. Do you remember starting orientation and they went over your W-4, all your benefits? That was a whole lot of information they went over. But guess what you did? You stayed there long enough to collect the paycheck, and some of you still there. So let's take that excuse off the table. Number two, you say, Wayne, it sounds great, but I'm just too busy. I can understand that because I was busy too before my econ, busy being broke and had nothing to show for it. It's amazing how many people say their plate is full, but when you see them, they're barely eating. We got to take that excuse off the table. Number three, you say, Wayne, it sounds great, but I'm just waiting on God. I'm just praying and fasting. I'm just waiting on God. And I can understand that too because I'm a praying man myself. But let me ask you a serious question. Are you really waiting on God or is God waiting on you? Because the God I serve is always on time. So I guarantee you, he's waiting on you. And then last and not least, you say, Wayne, I don't have the money to get started. But let me tell you something. I'm not going to talk bad about you. I'm not going to down you. But what I am going to do today is I'm going to encourage you to ask yourself two questions. One, how long do you want to have a $99 problem? And number two, what are you going to do differently to fix it? You see, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. So if you're tired, in fact, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, I highly recommend that you get back to the person who invited you and get signed up today, not next week, not next month, because procrastination is the assassination to your destination. Back to you, Wayne.